Am I my brother's keeper? Right? Those famous words. And so now for me, we have to spend time on these three words, hevel achicha, right? Because we saw very similarly in the story of Adam and Chava, right? They ate from the tree, they realize they're naked, they hide, and then Hashem says to them, Adam, Ayeka, where are you? Right? Very calm. Now, I'm not belittling eating from the tree, but if you asked me, which is a bigger deal, eating from a tree you're told not to, or murdering your brother, I think I'd go with murdering your brother, right? And to me, when I hear those three words, and this, I think, Manzi will answer your question a little bit more, right? I always think, and I feel bad that I'm throwing my parents under the bus so much in this class, but I always, when I read this pasuk, think back to my childhood, right? I think back to that time that I failed my history test and my parents, I come home from school. So, Safa, how'd you do on that history test last week? One of my favorite things to do was just not tell the truth. So, at that moment, when they asked, how'd you do on that history test? I'm like, oh, we didn't get it back yet, right? Because in my mind, I was like, oh, I can take care of this. They'll forget about it by 2 days from now. And then things went downhill fast because, unbeknownst to me, and I should have put two and two together, the teacher had already called and already told them about exactly your facial reaction. Exactly. Bad day in Cephaville, to say the least, right? I'm sure they're laughing on their private screens right now, right? But it was a bad day. But in theory, right? Why did they ask me that question? Right? They were hoping we could have a conversation about it, right? And I can tell you there were other things I've done in my past that it wasn't, oh, Sepha, how did blah go? Right? No, right? There were other times that whatever the situation was, there was already steam coming out of the ears, and there was no, oh, we'd love to have a conversation about this. So let's ask you a question. No, none of this, none of that. It was trails blazing of steam of anger and punishment immediately. Right? So I look at this pasuk and I'm like, gosh, this sounds like my history test. Right? A hevel achicha, right?